Hi, my name is Tanisha Roberts, and I wanted to share my breast cancer story with you. I was diagnosed with breast cancer in May of 2022 at the age of 41. This was only my second year getting a mammogram, and so I just expected it to go just like the previous year had gone when I had gotten it done at 40. After I gotten my mammogram done, I received a call, and they said that they had some areas that they wanted to re-examine. And it didn't ring any alarm bells for me, just because I just assumed I probably had dense breast tissue, which is what my mom has, and she's had to have several repeat mammograms in the past just based off of dense breast tissue. So I just thought that was what the issue was. So when I went back in for my second screening, my second mammogram, they took the images, and I could tell just by the seriousness of the look on the doctor's face and also her tone with me that she saw something very concerning. So what she advised that she thought she saw was DCIS, which is Ductal Carcinoma In Situ. And this is a type of cancer that occurs within your milk duct. It's considered a stage 0 cancer. And she was concerned and thought I needed to get in a biopsy. So I was sent off to have a biopsy. I had that done. Very uncomfortable situation to have done, getting your breast probed. However, it was very necessary to receive my diagnosis. I received a call back in a couple days letting me know that indeed I did have breast cancer. And when you hear the words cancer, your mind just automatically just thinks the worst. And you go to a place of cancer equals death, and I'm not going to be here. So the hardest part for me was having to relay that news to my parents. And that was probably harder than receiving the news myself, was having to then tell my parents that I had breast cancer. And that was hard for me just because you don't want your parents to worry about you. You don't want their minds to go to you not being there. And I can just say that what I was met with after I made that call to my parents was such strength, such faith, such love that just empowered me to be able to face whatever was coming my way. Not exactly knowing what was coming next or how, things were going to go, but I knew I had a great support system, and I knew I had strong faith to stand upon. The other thing that was extremely hard for me was coming to terms with losing my breasts. And to me, it felt like a loss of femininity. I knew that once my breast was gone, I just knew my body would never look the same. And as vain as that may sound, as far as being concerned about, the way your body looks or your breast looks, um, that's something that can be very traumatizing for a woman when so much of your femininity is attributed to your form and your shape, and you also feel like your body failed you. So that was kind of hard for me as well, as far as dealing with having to know I had to have a complete mastectomy. So my treatment plan with my doctors, after they reviewed all of my test results, was that I just needed to have the mastectomy. And after I had the mastectomy, they tested my breast tissue to see if the cancer had spread, and praise the Lord, the cancer had not spread. However, it was in a much larger area of my breast than they initially thought it was. So having the mastectomy was the absolute best route to go. The other thing is that with my breast cancer, I did not have to have chemotherapy. I did not have to have radiation. And I am so grateful and so thankful for that. Breast cancer, of course, is not a one-size-fits-all diagnosis. There are several different types of breast cancer and, of course, different stages of breast cancer. So in my case, even though I had breast cancer, I am still so thankful that my treatment wasn't as extreme as some other people's treatment have been. For me, with the type of cancer that I had, it was literally like the size of sand granules, but it was spread throughout my breast. And so that's not something that I could have found doing a self breast exam. I could have only found that, they could have only detected that by having the breast screening and having the mammogram. That is why I just stress that it is so important to get your annual mammograms, to do those self-exams so that if you do feel anything, that you can go ahead and get that checked out and find out if there's anything that you need to be concerned about. Early detection is key to saving your life. At this point with my breast cancer, I am on the tail end of it. I've had 3 surgeries. I had my mastectomy. I've had 2 reconstructive surgeries, and I just have 2 more procedures left to go. So I am so grateful that I am exiting this tunnel, but I will forever be a breast cancer survivor, and I wear my scars with pride. So I just say to stay on top of your moms, to stay on top of your aunts, grandmothers, friends, all the women that you love and care about, just to stay on them, and also yourself. Make sure that you are getting tested annually. It is so very important. So thank you so much for listening to my story, and God bless.